Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If there's one genre of movie where the quality can go from downright crap to greatest movies of all time, maybe the parody genre stands alone. From straight-to-video fare to iconic comedies, the parody movie can make us cringe and make us gaze in wonder. Here's Neil, who can make us cringe and wonder every day with 10 parody movie facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So here we go. In 1979, Chevy Chase was mistakenly announced as the star of Airplane by The Hollywood Reporter.
And don't call me Shirley.
Zucker, Abrams and Zucker wanted nothing to do with Airplane 2 and have never watched it as a result, even to this day.
And don't call me Shirley.
Val Kilmer sang all of his own parts in Top Secret, and this was a contributing factor to his being offered the role of Jim Morrison in The Doors.
I'll bite your legs off!
The Zuckers and Abrahams, known in shorthand as ZAZ, were informed by Paramount Pictures that Police Squad wasn't a suitable title because it was too similar to Police Academy. The filmmakers were given a list of 20 other titles and chose Naked Gun.
I'll bite your legs off!
Don Wayne politely declined appearing in Blazing Saddles, saying it would ruin his career, but he did read the script and found it hilarious.
Groovy, baby!
Gene Wilder always claimed that Young Frankenstein was his favourite movie he ever made, even over Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Spaceballs was originally going to be called Planet Moron, and George Lucas gave Mel Brooks his blessing over the movie.
Groovy, baby!
With the original working title Scary Movie Was Last Summer I Screamed Because Friday the 13th fell on Halloween, it was then shortened to Scary Movie, which was the working title for Kevin Williamson's Scream. In Austin Powers, Jim Carrey was originally intended to play Dr. Evil, but had to turn it down for he was contracted to do Liar Liar.
Groovy, baby!
And not another teen movie was Captain America's Chris Evans' feature film debut.
And don't call me Shirley.
Wonderful. Beautifully done, Neil. Thank you. It's so good to hear all of those wonderful facts. So here we are. Parody movies, one of the genres that I think Neil said before we came on air that I could have easily have done a top 20 on this one without a shadow of a doubt. Before we introduce our guest, we have another Patreon subscriber to say hello to. So everybody say hello, Richard. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your support, Richard. We will actually be seeing him in a few weeks' time. He's going to come and be a guest on the pod. As is our guest today. We've had him before. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Donald to the podcast.
Hey! Hello, Donald.
Coming from a sweltering USA. How are you, Donald?
Not so sweltering right now, because it is raining as well here.
Well,
but
that's
I am
good.
doing great.
Excellent. Now, it was you came to us with the parody movie.
With this one, yeah.
Didn't you? No, but originally you wanted to do worst parody movies, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, what was the reason for that?
There's this one movie that sticks in my head as just this god-awful parody, but it is a shot-for-shot remake of a movie in parody form. The name of the movie is Killer Raccoons 2, Dark Christmas in the Dark.
Jesus.
It is a shot-for-shot remake of the Steven Seagal movie Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, set at Christmas with raccoons.
That is crazy. Now, is that available anywhere on streaming?
I have not been able to find it yet.
So where did you see that originally?
There's this channel on YouTube called The Guy with the Glass. The collective was originally The Guy with the Glasses. The guy that split off was the Cinema Snob. He had this short series going on called Ruins Rob's Day, which is a friend of his. and he brought up this movie and was talking about it.
Goodness me. I mean, no, they just. I mean, we could be here for 2 hours trying to just pick apart that whole sentence. The fact that. So, give us the name of the movie again.
Killer Raccoons 2, Dark Christmas in the Dark.
And it was on the train, like Under Siege 2 and everything.
Yes.
Was it? Shot for shot with raccoon.
Yes.
I have to look and see if it's on IMDb because Killer. I just. Oh my god, it is as well. Killer Raccoons 2, Dark Christmas in the Dark, 2020.
Oh, was that when it was? Oh, blimey. Anyone of name in it?
Yang Miller, Ron Lynch, Tom Lyons, James Myers, Keanu Reeves. No, I'm only joking. It isn't Keanu Reeves, isn't it?
Mind you, that wouldn't surprise me with him. He crops up in the weirdest cameos.
A parody of Dark Siege and Speed 2 as well that will leave you with your jaw on the floor. Holy moly. It's one of those movies you feel you've got to watch.
Watch now, yeah.
The first 2 reviews. One review is 1 star, and then the next review is 10 stars.
I still love the internet.
You got
where were you in that, Donald? Were you 1 or 10?
I've not seen it, but I'm probably somewhere. Probably you're the one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it? You kind of sort of. Well, I was going to say you kind of know what the movie's about just by the title, but if it had just been the title, I probably would have thought that was the case. But as soon as you say it's supposed to be a parody of like Under Siege
2.
That's
it
crazy.
makes you want to watch it now, doesn't it?
That is crazy. I mean, we're going to have to try and find that and do like for the Patreon, do like a live watch along or something and get everybody to watch along with that. Anyway.
Yeah. The first time you gave me something to look up, I did.
Yes.
Just with Pertwee in it? Come on.
That you've returned the favor now.
Yes.
So we've got some homework to do now for the next time you're a guest on.
Well, I'm intrigued. There's never enough films with raccoons in as the main characters, is there? Let's be honest.
I mean, I was thinking of what was the beaver movie? Zombievers was the one I was thinking of.
I've had a little look on that. They keep showing that on our Sky TV on the Sci-Fi channel. I've had a couple of looks. It's interesting to say the least. I think it was more of an excuse for women to get the guys to get the women to get their clothes off than actually a film.
I mean, what more do you need? Right. So as a little treat then, I'm going to play you a little bit of the trailer. Oh, let's get rid of it. And it's just we're all together. We'll all hear what the trailer's like.
Yeah, let's listen intently.
See if I can get it to play. Really don't know what's going to happen with this.
A top-secret raccoon-operated laser satellite with nuclear capabilities. A team of domestic terrorists hell-bent on revenge. An undetectable moving headquarters held hostage.
Welcome aboard the Holiday Express, or as I like to call it, Raccoon Railways.
There's only
that looked like Wayne Rooney then for a second.
Really?
Sounds familiar. The Virgin from Raccoon Creek Campground is back.
They're raccoons, and they're smart ones.
Hold on, man. How do you know that?
Story of my life.
Oh my lordy. We have to watch that. We need to watch that.
So repeat it again, the full title. Killer Raccoons.
Killer Raccoons 2, Dark Christmas in the Dark. From 2020. Right. The trailer is on YouTube. And what more can you say? I mean, I really don't know what else.
I'm going to literally, when we finish recording, I will be watching it myself.
What a cracking start to the podcast! Thank you, Donald. I feel like that's it. We don't really need to do a top 10. We've done our work for everybody.
That'll be from 10 to 1. That's all of our favorite movie, and we'll just sit and watch it.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, maybe we shouldn't do a top 10 now, because if we watch that might end up being in our top 10 of parody movies. We might have to redo this top 10 anyway. What we'll do is we'll get on with this top 10 and we'll see where we go. Donald, give us your number 10 parody movie, please.
Number 10 is Scary Movie.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Yeah, that didn't make my top 10, I'm afraid, Donald.
Yeah.
It didn't. The thing is with me, the Scary Movie, the first one, I thought was really, really funny.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Number 2 was good too, but after that it dropped off.
Is
Yeah.
number 2 or number 1? It's such a long time since I've seen her. When the butler's got really small hands.
That's number 2.
Oh, that bit made me laugh a lot.
That's right. I thought they got the parody of Scream perfect.
Yeah.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the jokes with obviously, I think didn't it have the parody of the Matrix as well, didn't it? Where she's up in the air.
Yes.
The camera going around, and then what's not Scarface, is it? What's his name? Ghostface. Goes backwards and cricks his back and stuff. You know,
and they obviously parodied the "What's Up," didn't they? And his face when he was standing, his face all changed.
I think that's the trouble with those kind of movies, though, is it ends up dating those movies, doesn't it? Because like "What's Up" was a very what was that? Early 2000s?
Late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, because it came from the was it the Budweiser album, wasn't it? Yeah.
But like everybody was doing it, wasn't they? I mean, even this side of the pond, everybody was going. They thought they were really cool, and like nobody had ever heard it before. So they go, "What's that?" God, dear me.
Yeah, good choice though.
It is a good choice. Again, I haven't seen that movie for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's I'm going to have a look at that again. I seem to remember, shows where my mind goes, the sex scene as well. When he pulls down her knickers, doesn't he have to get a hedge trimmer to get in there? That is that one, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
And when he releases, he's squeezed out like a toothpaste tube.
Oh yeah.
And she is splattered on the ceiling.
That's it.
Right.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
My God. Yeah.
Was it written by the Wayans brothers?
Yes, the first 2 are. The rest of them are not.
Right.
Okay. Good start. Go on then, Neil. You're number 10.
So it's Zucker, Abrahams, and Zucker when it's Top Secret.
That's my top number 10.
Oh,
that's number 5 for me.
Oh, is it? It's a great movie. I mean, it seems almost sacrilege to put it at number 10, but I could have had a top 20, like I said earlier. It's the first of those sort of parody movies that I saw. I saw this before I saw Airplane, believe it or not. I just love all the sight gags. It's just gag after gag. I think Val Kilmer's very charismatic in the main role. I love the Peter Cushing cameo. Always love that one. What's not to love, isn't it?
I came very, very late to this movie, whereas I love the ZAZ team, what they do. I came really late to it, and the one gag in it that made me cry was Omar Sharif with the dog poo.
Oh yeah.
And I absolutely, and I'd never seen the movie before, and I thought, why have I never seen this before? But like you say, the sight gags with the big telephone, and Peter Cushing's big eye behind the magnifying glass. But that dog poo scene just killed me, absolutely killed me. It was so funny.
And the cow in Wellies.
Yes. Yes. I think it's a underrated. You know, I think the Just Films and that guys should do Top Secret if they might have already done it. So, but they should do that on that podcast, because it is one of those movies that has got, like you say, the joke ratio of hit jokes in that movie is fantastic. It really is. Thoroughly recommend anybody to.
Especially if they're a fan of the Airplane movies.
Yeah.
And Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
They were all,
without a shadow of a doubt. Go on then, Donald. You're number 9, please.
My number 9 is Loaded Weapon 1.
See, this was
Samuel L. Jackson, wasn't it? And Emilio Estevez.
This was probably 11 on my list.
And Tim Curry, the always brilliant bad guy in that. And isn't it William Shatner's his boss? Is it William Shatner?
I'd have to have a look. Hang on a second.
But I always love the bit where he's in the and they've got the aquarium, and to show how hard he is, he puts his head in, doesn't he? And like comes up with that lionfish in his mouth. And
William Shatner was General Motors, and yes, Bruce Willis was a cameo.
Yeah.
And it was I was going to say it's the scene where Emilio Estevez has got like no clothes on, and he's like, I've got to do the naked butt shot, and he's like just, yeah. There's some.
Yeah, so it was that was a good one. That was because that was a National Lampoons, wasn't it?
That was.
Yes, it was.
That was.
Yeah.
And that's like early Samuel L. Jackson as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
What year was that one? Early 90s. It's got to be.
That was
94?
93.
Ooh, 1 year out.
93.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I actually saw it at the cinema.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, I must admit, again, I haven't seen it for a while, but that was always. I don't know why Emilio Estevez's bottom sticks in my mind. I really don't, but it was beautifully shot. It was. It was quite.
And it was a very muscular bottom.
Yeah, quite perky, wasn't it? It was a perky. And I'm just looking at the trailer on IMDb, and James Doohan was in it as well.
Oh, was he?
That was two of the Star Trek guys were in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Isn't that also, just quickly for a scene, because it's been a while since I've seen that one, where he does the Martin Riggs style jump onto is it the top of a bus or a lorry?
Yeah.
And he just goes splat into the concrete. I'm not doing it justice, but it's fucking hilarious when you watch it.
Yeah.
And then
it does. From what I can remember, I think it's one of those things. I think, well, I don't know if it'd be in anyone else's top 10, but like in Airplane 2, William Shatner's in that as well, and in both of them, he seems to have like loads of fun. I mean, he sort of overacts anyway, doesn't he? But he just seems perfect for that kind of genre of movie because he just goes sort of full balls out, you know.
But he's another one that can be very serious when he does it as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what how parody movies should be. Everybody should be earnest and deadly serious about. As if it's Shakespeare. That's the way.
Well, I totally agree. Agree. I think Tim Curry was the star of that one for me.
As he is in most of his movies. Go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
So it's a British film. It's Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, that's my number 6. That's my number 6.
This was a great reinvention of the zombie movie, as well as having a lot of the old tropes that we know of the Romeros and those classic movies. I think it stands alone, away from being a parody movie, which it rightly is, but it stands alone as just a great comedy as well, with a lot of heart.
It's the first of a trilogy too.
It is.
Yeah,
it certainly is.
I
personally think they got weaker as they went.
Yeah, I was going to say I think this is Edgar Wright's best film.
Yeah, that or maybe Scott Pilgrim. I do love Scott Pilgrim.
I like it, but I think just for general laughs, it's got good heart in it. It's got good emotion,
and it's got some quite scary moments in.
Absolutely.
And gore, some great gore,
lots of gore.
Yeah,
lots of gore. But it is one of those movies that I watch it, and again, it's just crammed full of stuff. As in, like, there's always something going on in the background that means something. They'll say something that gets paid off a little bit later on. It's just it's very clever writing in the way that it's the way that Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg write their stuff, because all their movies have got those kind of things where they're all linked into different little things a little bit later on. But I think you're right, just as a parody movie, but as a movie.
Yeah,
which I was looking at my top 10. And I think a lot of my top 10 would probably at least be in my top 50 movies of all time. Not necessarily genre movies, but because there's a lot of classic movies in my top 10. And I feel that Shaun of the Dead's one of them, really.
Yeah, no, I'm the same as you. Looking at my list, definitely there may be even one or two in the top 10, 20.
So Donald, I feel like Shaun of the Dead's quite a British movie. Does the humor travel for something like Shaun of the Dead?
Well, I know a lot of people who really love the movie too, but for me, I was kind of raised on British humor like Monty Python, so I got a lot of it right off the bat.
Right. Because I think it was successful over in America as well, wasn't it? I think it was quite a successful.
Yes, it was.
movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sort of made Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright over there,
and Nick Frost, of course.
Definitely.
And Nick Frost, of course, yeah, and Bill Nighy, of course.
Oh yes, yeah, but he was sort of a star already, wasn't he, Bill Nye?
Well, I mean, was he? What would he?
Well, more of a TV star for us.
Yeah, I suppose.
I
suppose
he wasn't really all that well known over here until
Shaun of the
that
Dead.
movie.
Yeah. Then he seemed to get a lot of bigger stuff after that, didn't he? Obviously,
most definitely.
Those kind of things. Okay, my number 9, something that probably should be a bit higher, but it is Young Frankenstein.
It's my number 6, Pab.
That's your number 6. Okay.
It's one that I regretted having to take off the list.
Yeah, there's so many good parody movies. That's the thing. But with right, I don't know how many I've got in my top 10. But is Mel Brooks the king of parody comedies?
Yeah,
it's got to be, surely, for his output. Not always a hit rate.
They're not always.
For his output.
No, they're not always. But if you look at the classic parody movies, I don't think there's any other writer-director that has had as many hits in regards to directing parody movies.
What was his first one? Would you say parody movie? Because I wouldn't. Would you class the producers as not really? Is it?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say. It would either be High Anxiety or Silent Movie.
Wouldn't it?
I'm gonna have to have a look and see what years they are. But
right.
I haven't seen High Anxiety.
He seemed to know how to bottle that thing of taking a genre and skewing it just so much that it's his own thing.
But I mean, if you look through on the other, his movies, a lot of the other ones, we're bound to revisit some of them. They weren't written, by him. A lot of, some of the younger ones. So getting the young and up and coming talent to write them. Young Frankenstein, wasn't it? That was Gene Wilder's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it's. I think it's. Let's go back to the movie. Marty Feldman, to me, in that movie, is just the star. I loved him anyway. But. Yeah, hey, got nobody. And obviously Peter Boyle as the monster, putting on the Ritz.
I know I completely agree with what you're saying, but for me, Gene Wilder is a comic genius.
Well,
he is
an absolute.
Gene Hackman as the blind guy.
Hackman, exactly.
We forgot he was in that actually for a minute.
Well, Young Frankenstein was 1974, so I think that was his first one. High Anxiety was 1977, and Silent Movie was 1976.
So when was Blazing Saddles?
Oh, good question. Keep asking me all these questions, Neil.
You got to know these things.
Blazing Saddles was also 1974.
Okay.
So
that was a good year for him.
That was a hell of a good year, wasn't it? Wow. Yeah. It's just there's so many things about Young Frankenstein that it feels like an old Hammer horror movie.
It does. They've done it
like
really
a black
well.
and white Universal monster movie, but there's again just so many jokes, so many sight gags, and Gene Wilder is just fantastic.
Yes.
In it, it's just and Madeline. It didn't go on and on, but Madeline Kahn was great in it, and
Cloris Leachman.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just a great movie.
But if anybody's listening to this and have been put off by watching it because it's in black and white,
don't be
put off.
No, don't be at all.
Pure hilarity.
And I will put it on the video playlist for our Patreon subscribers. But the bloopers for Young Frankenstein, on YouTube is something to watch as well.
Yeah,
because
that's a great one.
Because how they got the movie made when someone like Marty Feldman's there doing all these little bits and pieces, and just the way he looks is you've got it's amazing the movie ever got made anyway. So. Okay, then Donald, your number 8, please.
And number 8 is Galaxy Quest.
That would have been that. Could have been. Yeah, no, it's another one that should have been in the list. But a great movie, Donald. Great movie.
It is.
With another great cast.
Yes.
And the late great Alan Rickman.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell as the red shirt.
He was.
The red shirt who would go on to become more than just a red shirt.
Exactly. But I honestly can't remember the last time I watched this movie, and it never got near my top 10. But so many people, I've been talking to people at work, and that's the movie that everyone seems to go on about whenever you say parody movies.
It's a great accessible movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'll have to have a look. But what year do you reckon Galaxy Quest?
That'd have been mid-2000s.
Early 2000s, late 90s, I'd say.
Point for Donald, 1999.
Was it really?
There you go.
But yes, a great movie, and holds up when I last saw it. You know, because some of the 90s movies and early 2000s.
The Tim Allen at his height. That was peak Tim Allen right there.
Yeah.
Because you had that, you had Home Improvement,
and the new
Jungle to Jungle.
Toy Story was about
Toy Story.
Yeah, he was in full flow there, wasn't he?
He was.
Oh,
what was the
Justin Long?
one? Oh yeah, I forgot Justin Long was in that
Justin
one.
Long was in it,
Yeah.
No, it was a good movie. And,
I've met Justin Long before.
Have you?
Yeah. Ooh, let's ask more. Where? Or should we not ask where?
Well, no, it was here in Rochester of all places. But back in 2008, I volunteered on Obama's campaign team here in Rochester, and it was him, Cal Penn, and Olivia Wilde. We're going around to various campaign offices and talking with the people and signing autographs.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, I would like to have met Olivia Wilde as well.
Yeah, well,
just saying.
Well, that's Harry Styles now, isn't it? Is Olivia Wilde. And obviously Justin Long was Tusk, wasn't he?
He was. He's a Kevin Smith stalwart now.
The human walrus.
For Justin Long, I know him mostly for Dodgeball.
Of course.
Creepers.
And the Mac and PC commercials.
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't get those over here.
What about Jeepers Creepers? That was him, wasn't it?
I never watched him.
Oh, right. He was in the first one. Spoilers, he didn't last very long.
Oh.
Really.
Well, there you go. Look, you've ruined it for everybody now, Neil.
He didn't.
Well, I didn't realize we had a friend of the stars with us today, and Don on his
yes,
friends of all the stars.
And was he nice, Justin Long?
Yeah, it was very nice.
Good.
Bless him.
That's what we like to hear.
Bless him. He also does the voice of the son on F is for Family. The
he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Bill Burr comedy, on Netflix. Okay, then, Neil, you're number 8.
So I've put Austin Powers. Now I will go with the first one because it was the original, but I have got a very soft spot for all three. But I still love the Austin Powers movies now, and they're one of those sort of movies that I'll just leave them on when you see them. Just Mike Myers when he was good, you know, before he'd even thought about doing Cat in the Hat and Love Guru and all that shite.
Yeah,
he was. He was a proper comedian. Now, reading last week online and film websites and that, they're all saying that he's bringing Austin Powers back.
Really? It's not just a commercial that...
No, there's a rumor that it's coming back, another movie.
Wow.
Now, this actually scares me.
Yeah.
In the fact that this could now ruin the trilogy.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, because they sort of deteriorate. Well, no, I think the first two are both as good as each other. The second one may even top the first one. The third one had great funny moments, but was also just a lot of repeated jokes.
Yeah.
But the opening to the third one, I think, is one of the greatest movie openings.
Oh, with Tom Cruise.
Steven Spielberg. And he does those flips down the road.
Yeah.
It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen number 1 about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And I wondered whether or not it would hold up just like in this woke world that we live in now, whether it would hold up. And if it'd be interesting to see what they would do if they were going to bring it back. Because they've already done like a Man Out of Time kind of thing. They can't really sort of do that again, can they?
Well, yeah.
If you're looking at 20 years odd since they last.
Yeah, it easily, isn't it? So I don't know what they would do. Maybe they would. Maybe it's them having a go at this new woke culture and everything.
Like the son of Austin Powers, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe more of a like a Daniel Craig type that's more sort of hard hitting instead of being groovy baby and all about loving the women. It's just going in there and smashing people's heads up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It'd be interesting, but I don't know.
Get your hands off my hiney, baby.
But the thing is, like you said, he hasn't been funny for a long, long time.
No. I haven't watched the new Netflix. I watched the trailer and it looked goddamn awful.
Yeah, the Pentaveret or something, isn't it? It hasn't had good reviews. Yeah, it hasn't had good reviews.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah. Okay, my number 8 is the sequel to the Top Gun parody, and it was the Rambo parody. It's Hot Shots Part 2. Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do prefer this one over the first one, and I'm not quite sure why, because they're both pretty much they're similar in regards to their rip-offs of the movies that they're parodying. Obviously,
So are you more of a fan of Rambo than Top Gun?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of Top Gun at all. Love the new one. I thought the new Top Gun movie is fantastic, but I also think I thought Charlie Sheen was really, really good.
But he was good in his day, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he got bulked up, didn't he? He got all muscly for it. The whole scene where he's having his fight at the start and he's dipping his braided hands into the caramel and then deciding to put like M&Ms on it and gummy bears and kicks his opponent like right between the legs, and then these 2 walnuts come out of his mouth. Yeah. And it's great because even Richard Crenna's in it, which he was in the original Rambo movie as well, playing his sergeant that he's going to go in.
And isn't Martin Sheen?
That's
don't
one
they
of
pass each other on the
There's
river?
a scene where they're 2 different boats passing each other.
Yeah, because they both have a voiceover. You hear a voiceover, and then you hear like Martin Sheen's voiceover, and then as they cross, they both go, "I loved you."
I love you.
In Wall Street.
And then they just look. It's great, and I thought like Charlie Sheen was a great like leading man in that. He was fantastic.
Was Rowan Atkinson in it?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was like Charlie Sheen's girlfriend's husband, wasn't he?
That's right. And the other one that I remember was Ryan Stiles.
That's right, Ryan Stiles.
Yeah.
Was in Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Fame, yeah.
Because he ended up rescuing Rowan Atkinson, and he said, "Oh, can you walk?" He said, "I can't move." He said, "Why not?" "They've tied my shoelaces together." Bastards. So he had to carry him and then stop so he could get a drink of water out of the fountain. And yeah, it's got some great bits in it. And also it's Lloyd Bridges as well.
Oh yeah.
When he fights Saddam Hussein, and they have like what I pretend to be lightsaber fight, don't they?
That's right.
Yeah, it's got some.
I'd like to watch those movies again. Actually, both of them. It's been a while. I don't know which one it was with the love scene, and he cracks the egg on her stomach, and then
that's the first one.
That's the first one. That's the first one. Yeah, because that was a piss take of 9.5 weeks, wasn't it?
9.5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pops the olive straight from the
Yes. Yeah, great movies. Great movies. Okay, Donald, your number 7 then, please.
My number 7, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Right. Yeah. So this is one. I'm not a massive fan of this one, I have to admit.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. It's a long time since I've only ever seen it. I think once. There you go, film nerd. I've only seen it once.
Yeah. So why is it? Why is it your number 7 then, Donald?
Oh, just Gary Hughes. I've always loved his acting, from Princess Bride to Hot Shots.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just the ways that it pokes fun at Prince of Thieves without actually calling out Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
Like the one line, that I can actually speak with an English accent, unlike some other Robin Hoods.
He is a true. I always feel that like I don't know how is it Carrie Elwes? I don't know how you say his name. He feels to me like he was born out of time. He should have been a 40s, 50s movie star. He was somebody that like had the looks of somebody that was like a Errol Flynn. Or Cary Grant, that kind of. Do you know? I don't think he ever seemed to be a bigger star as he should have been. I don't know. I don't know whether anybody else feels.
No, I agree. Because he's sort of. I don't know what he's done recently, but he went into Saw, didn't he? He did Saw. And then I know he's on TV in some bits and bobs, but yeah, I agree with you, Pav. He deserved more fame than he probably has, if you know what I mean. More recognition, I think is the word.
But then you got to say, I mean, Princess Bride. He's sort of like he's a cult hero, would you say, because of Princess Bride? But yeah. I was just looking to see
I
was just looking to see, and I didn't realize he's actually English, isn't he?
He is.
He's so good at doing American accents that you think that he's American, but I was just going to look and see if he's.
So, Men in Tights. Tell me again, who else is in it apart from who was the female lead?
This was the first movie Dave Chappelle ever did.
Right.
Wow.
What's his?
Let's see. So you got Amy Yasbeck as Marion. Richard Lewis as Prince John.
Oh, okay.
Roger Rees as Sheriff of Nottingham. Dave Chappelle, Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, as his father there. Yeah.
Tracy Ullman was in it.
As
Latrine. Patrick Stewart was King Richard. Dom DeLuise as Don Giovanni. Mel Brooks as Rabbi Tuckman.
Mm-hmm.
And just other bits and pieces. But yeah,
one other thing I'll say though, there's so many actual callbacks to previous Mel Brooks movies in this.
Right.
Because at the end, when he makes Achu the sheriff, they're like, a black sheriff? It worked in Blazing Saddles?
I feel I should give this movie another.
It must be on one of the streaming devices, sure.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But here's one that probably not a lot of kids would get, but when they at the wedding scene, as the Abbott's coming out, and the one guy is like, "Hey, Abbott!"
Okay, that's a good one. Produced and directed by Mel. I was going to say Mel Gibson. Then that's not right at all.
No.
That wouldn't be the right one.
Although I would like to see a Mel Gibson direct a parody movie, maybe of the Passion of the Christ. Do his own parody of it.
His own parody of it. That would be fun. Go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
My number 7 is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's my number 5.
That's my number 4.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen it, us three obviously have, but anybody listening to this has never seen it. Where have you been for the last 40, 50 years? It's a great movie, isn't it? It's I actually love the documentary about this as much as watching the movie. When you find how difficult it was for them to film, and it was all them rock star mates that bailed them out. Jimmy Page and Robert Plant and all of those lot ended up financing it. Right from I could listen to the soundtrack to this movie, which I have got in my car, along with the other Python movies. Works just as well as an audio.
I bought it on Audible.
It works just as well as like you said, an Audible or a easy listening. I just think it's great. We could sit here all day and quote it, couldn't we?
Yes.
None shall pass.
Yeah, I had the written screenplay. It was all in different. Yeah, it was all in different colors, and there was like annotated. Is that right? Annotated, like little scribbles and that they like recreated of what changed in the script and stuff. Again, for like bang for your buck, laughs. But again, it's one of those movies you've got to watch the around the players that are talking, because there's stuff going on everywhere. You've always got to be looking, because there's something going, and they're so clever with their writing.
Yeah, but they always were, weren't they?
They always were. They always were.
They're just geniuses. I think one of almost like not many of a kind, is it? There's not many people that can get away and do that sort of humor, and we don't seem to have that sort of people around at the moment, to me, that are able to transpire that sort of humor. But
No,
she turned me into a newt.
But that's the thing, they would craft, wouldn't they? They would craft a joke. It wouldn't just be punchlines. The thing is, their jokes have become punchlines now, haven't they? They've become catchphrases.
Yeah.
But they would craft a joke, and they wouldn't necessarily go for the obvious joke. And they'd sometimes put words in that I wouldn't know what they, because they're all from university and stuff. I wouldn't understand some of the words that they meant, but in the context of what they're saying, you'd understand the joke, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Some of the
Graham Chapman doesn't.
Oh,
sorry, Donald. Say it again.
Some of the strangest insults too.
Yes.
Your father was a hipster and you felt of elderberry.
Exactly.
I fart in your general direction.
That's right.
Which I actually have the T-shirt of that, but
have you got
I don't tend to wear it much because people look at me and just with weirdness.
Why would you not have a T-shirt like that and not wear it?
Because, well, I do wear it, but only around that I know around people. Anyway, yeah, great thing. But of course, Graham Chapman doesn't remember any of it, does he?
Well, no, he's dead, Neil.
No. As in, he doesn't. When you read interviews, he can't remember filming any of that film. He was so drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And has any of you guys seen Spamalot?
Yes, I have.
Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity.
No, I've not either. I just wonder.
I've listened to the soundtrack for it though.
Is it good, Neil? Is it good?
Yeah, very good. It's very audience. It's very Monty Python. Probably more Eric Idle style Monty Python,
right?
Obviously, because he wrote it. They do use like always look on the bright side of life in it. They bring that across and things like that. But as audience participation, if you're sat, I can't remember the seat. If you're sat in it, you get picked. They pick somebody every night.
Oh, right.
To come up and do bits. Yeah. Hilarious. It's proper Monty Python on the stage with great music.
Oh, that sounds good. Excellent.
Yeah, I'd recommend if it ever does a tour again around, just treat yourself and go and see it.
Right.
Because I don't think it's on in our West End anymore.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's on Broadway anymore either.
No. Well, there is supposed to be a movie coming on, I think, of it, isn't there? I think they were going to do a movie.
I haven't heard anything for years of that, though. It was a few years ago.
I suppose COVID would have got.
I can just imagine the tagline for it: "The movie based on the movie, based on the movie, based on the myth."
Yes,
but you'd want Eric Idle, if he was to ever do that, is to bring the remaining Pythons into the fold.
They'd have to.
They would have to.
Yeah, they would have to. Of course, they would. Yeah. Okay, so my number 7. I have mentioned this movie already. It's another Mel Brooks one, and it is Silent Movie. I watched this movie one Sunday night. I think I've said this on another podcast. What they did I think it was a Mel Brooks. No, it would have been a Dom DeLuise season on BBC Two one Sunday, like a month and Sundays, and they had The End was the first movie with Burt Reynolds, which he plays like plays a mental patient, and I laughed. There's one scene where Burt Reynolds tries to kill himself, wakes up in a mental institution, and Dom DeLuise, you think he's the doctor interviewing Burt Reynolds, but he's not. He's a mental patient, and it all goes crazy. And I laughed. I've never laughed so much in my life. And then the following week was Silent Movie, and there's a scene where Dom DeLuise is on this table and he's dancing like a Spanish guy, clicking his fingers, and slowly the table starts going down. I absolutely wet myself again, like 2 weeks on the trot. But this movie is famous because it's a silent movie about Mel Brooks trying to make a silent movie. Mm-hmm. So it's got loads of famous people of the time in. Burt Reynolds. There's the famous scene where he's having a shower, and all of a sudden all these other hands start washing him. And it's Mel Brooks and it's Marty Feldman and Dom DeLuise, and they're all trying to get all these people into or Mel Brooks trying to get all these people into his movie, and the only word that is said in the whole movie is the famous mime artist Marcel Marceau. When they ask, will you be in a movie, and he goes, no, and that's the only words. And it is such a funny movie. It's so good. I'm a massive fan of Dom DeLuise. He's just one of my favorite actors. But yeah, Sid Caesar, Bernadette Peters, Fritz Feld. He looks familiar. I'm not quite sure who that is. But there's so many famous people. Obviously, Burt Reynolds. If you get a chance to watch it, I've got no idea whereabouts it is. I'm sure it must be on somewhere.
Probably find DVDs of it on Amazon,
but again,
eBay.
it's like Cannonball Run. It's not on any streaming services anywhere, Neil, is it? You've got to get it on like a German import.
That's what I had to do to get the Blu-ray of it. I had to get the German import.
It's crazy.
I love
it really
that
is.
movie.
It's so hard to get hold of some of these movies, but I would thoroughly recommend anybody who fancies having a laugh just to watch that.
We need to open a cinema and start showing these sort of films again.
Yes, that's what we should. Going on a bit of a tangent, I have started listening to the Tarantino podcast. Yeah. What was it called? Video Archive, and that is really good. Have you listened to it, Neil? Have you?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, and anyone who's a movie fan, some of the movies I've got no idea what they're talking about, but it makes me want to watch them. That's the thing; it makes me want to watch those movies. So, recommend that. Okay, so Donald, do you want number 6 then, please?
Number 6 is Hot Shots.
Ah, the original.
There we go. We can go back and talk about that 9.5 week scene again.
Yeah. What was her name? What was the lady's name?
Galena?
Something, because she was in Rain Man as well, wasn't she?
Yeah. And then been in something recent. Oh, she's in the morning show.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Valerie Galino.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I didn't realize she was in that. I'll have to look. She was like a hot thing.
Oh yeah,
like for the 90s and that, wasn't she? Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
So go on then, Donald. Why that one over? Oh, I mean, look, you might have Hot Shots Part 2 a little bit further up in your top 10. I don't know, but
only because the way I ordered my list was how often I am to how likely I am to rewatch them more often.
Right.
And well, I'm not the biggest fan of Top Gun. I haven't even seen Maverick yet, but Hot Shots just hits that spot.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see why it's definitely good. I had both of them on Blu-ray. Not on Blu-ray. I definitely had them both on DVD, but I haven't seen them for a while. But I need to.
Yeah,
they show them a lot on our movie channels over here, don't they? They're always on.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for a while. I need to re-go back. I remember just finding them very funny, very funny.
Pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime or over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the first? Do they recreate the Lady and the Tramp as well?
Yes.
In that, yeah, that is that one, isn't it?
Yes, they do. And I'm not sure which one it is, but there's 2 bits that Lloyd Bridges does. There's one when he has a fork and he accidentally it slips out of his hand and sticks into this bald man's head on the plane. I'm not sure if that's the first one or the second one.
I don't remember on that one. But...
And then there's another one when he's eating some chocolate pudding, and he's got it around his chops, and he goes pudding, and it splits into splats into a man's
face. Yes, that was definitely the first one.
That was the first one, was it? That was always makes me because it was the same guy. I think it was the same guy, and then the guy had a blood transfusion, didn't he? I think that was in the first one.
Yeah, and it just completely.
And you slowly see the other. Yeah, you slowly see the other guy sort of like shriveling up because he's taken all of his blood. Oh, so good.
Or the part where Lloyd Bridges takes the napkin or the handkerchief and sticks in one ear and sticks it all the way through.
Oh my Lord.
Were they actually directed by Zucker in that? Not the 3 of them. Was it one of them, wasn't
it? Jim Abrahams.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh dear, that is good though. Okay, Neil, for number 6, you said Young Frankenstein.
I did.
And for number 6, I said Shaun of the Dead. Number 5, Donald, you said Top Secret.
Yep.
So, Neil, what's your number 5?
It is Naked Gun.
That's my number 4.
Yeah, I mean, Leslie Nielsen, we've spoke about him many times on other episodes of this pod, but the king of the parody movies.
I was going to say, if Mel Brooks is the king director of parody movies, Leslie Nielsen has to be. I'd say him and Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah,
I think had the same sort of roles in some of the parody movies.
I think Leslie Nielsen would top it though because the amount he did. I mean, they weren't all successful. I mean, But when you did go to the ones that he did, even though they were shocking, some of them, they still had those moments in. Like Spy Hard. I always remember really bad, but the chair in that just made me laugh.
There was some funny bits. Repossessed, I thought, had some really good bits.
Now, see, I think Repossessed is a very good parody movie.
Love Repossessed.
Yeah, it's such
Unfortunately, I just don't watch it all that often because it really, to me, I can only watch that one. There's like 3 Leslie Nielsen movies I can only watch around Halloween. That's one of them.
Right.
Dracula Dead and Loving
Dracula Dead and Loving It is another one. And the other one, it's not him in the starring role, but he's in it, and it's a movie called Stan Helsing.
Oh, I do remember it. Yeah, I didn't ever see it.
But Keenan from Keenan and Kel in it.
Right. There was a whole spate of when they started doing these parody movies, and it was like Leslie Nielsen. They did a oh God, what was the Harrison Ford movie where The Fugitive? They did a Fugitive parody movie.
Oh yeah, they
Leslie
did.
Nielsen.
I can't remember what that was called.
I can't remember what that was called.
They did end up churning them out a bit.
They did.
I mean, it was a cash cow for him, but they did start churning them out. But Naked Gun is up there with Airplane as the originals, isn't it? I mean, again, so many great sight gags. You know, who doesn't want to see the Queen attacked with a dildo?
Exactly.
You know, I always remember that scene. You recreated one of the scenes out of that movie.
When
you went for a piss at the Comic-Con.
I did.
To turn your microphone off.
I did. I forgot to turn my microphone off. I'm so glad that I wasn't going for a number 2. I only went for a number 1 because I could not believe that I kept my microphone on for that. That was like, I wouldn't have minded so much if I actually did it on purpose, like for a bit. But it was the fact that when I came back, you're saying your microphone was left on.
Yeah, we heard it all. Thank God you weren't talking about anyone. Yeah.
Oh dear, happy days.
Or talking to yourself.
I know, that would have been even worse.
Yeah.
If I'd have gone off slagging you off, look, that would have been terrible, wouldn't it?
Well, I could have lived with that, but I would have laughed even more with the fact of if you've been like slagging yourself off.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Naked Gun is one of those. I mean, it's one of those movies. They keep saying that they're going to remake them.
They don't need to, do they?
They don't need to. And again, I've only put Naked Gun, the first one, on my top
because
10.
they did, and it might sound harsh to the lovers of the trilogy, but they got worse.
But like all of them, they do. Yeah. But there is still some amazing.
Oh yeah,
some amazing laughs, and you've got the whole. Like OJ of it all as well.
Yeah. And how funny he was in it.
Exactly.
Was it Neudberg?
Neudberg, yeah. And George Kennedy.
Yeah.
And, you know, just loads of other stars. I mean, it was of its time, obviously. Some of the jokes are maybe you wouldn't get away with these days, but
Priscilla Presley.
Presley
She was going to be that funny as well.
Exactly. Nice beaver and all that kind of stuff. You can't. It's just
when they come out of Platoon, skipping down the road, holding hands.
That's right.
Did you practice safe sex?
That's right. It's fantastic. And which is the bit? Which was the one where they had the scene with the potter's wheel? Was that number 2?
No, that's the first one.
Was that the first one?
That's all that montage where they come out of the cinema. You know,
because I can remember the trailer said that was the trailer, wasn't it? Because that was around the time that Ghost came out.
Yeah, it's the first one.
And it was like the brother, one of the brothers of Abraham's, who directed it, because on the trailer it said, from the brother of the man that directed Ghost comes this, and a brilliant bit of like promo. It really was. Yeah. Oh, you can't beat it. You honestly can't beat it. Right, my number 5 was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Which was your number 4, Donald.
Yep.
So, Neil, we're back to you with your number 4.
So we'll go back to Monty Python again, and we'll do The Life of Brian.
Okay.
I mean, again, we've talked about it numerous times on many podcasts.
I didn't think of this as a parody movie.
But
I suppose it is.
It's a religious movie.
Yeah. Shit. That's what I'm going to say to that, because that would have been...
The only movie they did that wasn't really a parody was Meaning of Life.
I suppose. Yeah. Oh my God, I've really dropped a massive bollock on this one. I really have. Oh my God.
When you say it's number 4, I feel it should be higher, but this is the problem I had. My top 4 could easily swap round at any time, and I
without a
wouldn't
doubt,
bat an eyelid.
Without a doubt.
I think this is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Listen, it's just full of great sketches within the structure of a movie. It's just fantastic.
Oh my Lord.
I'd say the only part that falls flat for me is the aliens.
Oh really?
When they take Brian off to
when he falls off the tower, and then
where the hell did that come from?
But that to me, it's not saying very British, but that to me is quintessential Monty Python. Is that they will whack something in that has no link or has no connection to anything, and then you're sat there like 2 minutes after it's done. What the hell was that all about? Where did those fucking aliens come from? That makes no sense whatsoever.
But I suppose it's a comedic way of him falling and landing safely and then carrying on the chase, isn't it? Because they're going up and up those steps, and then the guy's on the top with his hammer, drops the hammer, he's coming down, and he starts to go,
yeah.
He just gets ignored, falls, gets swept off. And then you've got one of the funniest lines, "You lucky bastard."
But isn't that, I think Monty Python are one of those people, especially with all their films, that they have the most lines that you use in everyday life.
Yeah.
The amount of time that I will go, "You lucky bastard."
Well, they use that a few times in the movie, don't they?
Yeah, that's
the guy
right.
that's hung up. Yeah,
that's right. Or if I'm like rubbing my nose, and my missus will say to me, "Stop picking your nose," I'll always go, "I wasn't going to pick my nose. I was going to thump him." That's what I always say. There's no context to what you're saying. But it's weird how that comes into the general sort of lexicon of normal everyday life. You just say these things that come from movies. It's crazy.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
I'm Brian, and so's my wife.
Just we could go honestly. He's not the Messiah. I mean, how many
he's a very naughty boy.
And I've told this story before, but I'll tell Donald is when I used to work with this guy, we used to have a lot of banter back and forth from film lines, and he sent me a text, me personally, a quote from Monty Python, Life of Brian. Excuse me, if it's not a personal question, are you a virgin? And he sent me this quote, didn't send it to me, but sent it to his grandmother.
Oh,
I know. How mortifying, but I found it hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But,
oh dear me, good stuff. It's the gift that keeps on giving. That's what it is. That's what Monty Python is. Okay, so
going off of what with the way they did Splam-A-Lot off of Holy Grail. Eric Idle did a one-night show at the O2 Arena of, you could say, a musical operatic concert of Life of Brian, and called "He's Not the Messiah, He's a Very Naughty Boy."
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
There must be footage.
There is a DVD out for it.
Oh right.
Oh wow.
You guys are lucky because it only will work on the devices in your area.
Oh right, okay. Well,
okay.
I'm gonna have to look for that.
Oh yeah, I would love to have a look for that. But yeah, I always thought out of all their movies, one of the ones, Meaning of Life, I thought would have made a really good stage show.
Yeah. Well, as in like just a load of sketches all together.
Yeah, put together.
It's already a musical in itself. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got all the songs there, but I mean, obviously you couldn't do it all, but
no,
quite a few of the scenes it would be perfect to go and see.
Yeah, good shape. Okay, so my number 4 was Naked Gun. So Donald, your number 3, please.
Blazing Saddles.
That's my number 3,
and that's my number 2.
Oh, there we go.
I give you this laurel and hearty handshake.
Our new,
Yes. Now, obviously, there are uses of words in there that are not sort of not PC.
Didn't age well.
It has,
but it was written by Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor
and it was a satire on racism underneath the guise of a parody cowboy.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
but it has. I mean, I can remember being a kid, and it was the one thing you talked about at school was the the campfire farting scene.
Yeah.
You know, it was total.
If I remember correctly, the first one ever on film.
It was like that's all kids. Oh God, I saw a film last night, and all they did was fart around a fire. It was so funny. The rest of it didn't matter. It was just as children, that was like the scene that was like the most outrageous. That it was just nothing but farts. But there are so many. Harvey Korman is fantastic.
Yeah,
he is absolutely fantastic. And when it breaks the sort of fourth wall, when they come out of it at the end, and he's in the theater, and he's just a fantastic. I love Harvey Korman. I love watching. What was the show that he was in? Not Mary Tyler Moore, is it? What's her name? American comedian. Oh God, I've forgotten her name now. How bad
Dick
is
Van
that?
Dyke?
No, well, I mean Dick Van Dyke was in it, but it was. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look. There's loads of outtakes of him with another guy, and again I can't remember the guy's name, like the dentist chair thing. I'll put it on the video playlist because I'm not explaining it very well.
Dick, not Vicki Lawrence, but
it's an American Carol Burnett. That's it. And the amount of times that they're doing sketches and they can't get through it. Obviously, it was filmed live. And it's Harvey Korman is like messing about, and then this other guy is messing about, and it is hilarious. I'll put some of the clips in the video playlist. But again, I think it's got all the people. I mean, I don't think Marty Feldman isn't in it, is it? But Dom DeLuise is in it. Dom DeLuise is the movie director.
Gene Wilder again.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
But yeah, Gene Wilder's fantastic. Waco Kid.
Yeah.
Good
Look
luck.
at that. But
I love his story though. I will always laugh at the story. I turned around, saw this little kid, put my guns away, started walking away. The little bastard shot me in the ass.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is so good. But yeah, it's got some great. I always just remember. Good luck.
Mel Brooks as the Indian chief speaking Yiddish.
That's it.
That's right. And then he's also like the corrupt mayor of the town as well.
Oh, what with his bat
and ball, and he's cross-eyed, and he's got like the big-breasted like secretary. Again, it's one of those movies.
Governor.
The governor. That's right.
He has governor on the back of it.
That's right. That's right.
So much. Eddie
Slim
Lamar.
Pickens as well.
Yeah, Slim Pickens is in it.
Oh, it's just such a good movie, and it's. I mean, I don't know whether I say a child, but somebody who's sort of like early 20s of these days would look at that and say, "Oh, it's disgusting," because they say certain words, or whether it would travel. I don't know. I honestly
don't know, because would they get would they get the subtle knocks at racism? That was the whole point of it.
A lot of the reactors that I've watched that have seen Blazing Saddles have loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd like to sit and watch it on, like, my youngest is 21, and I'd love to sit there with like a couple of my kids and just put it on and see whether they would find it funny.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, like I say, that's not just like number 3 in my parody movies. That's in definitely in my top 20 of movies of all time.
Yeah, it's just it's got to be up there
without a doubt. Okay, then Neil, your number 3
is This Is Spinal Tap.
Okay.
The mockumentary.
Right.
Yeah. Now this was the thing. We had a little bit of a chat, didn't we, before we spoke to Donald? As I did with Life of Brian. Life of Brian I didn't even think about as a fucking parody movie, so that's why I let myself down. But I class this more as a mockumentary, not a parody movie. So Neil, defend yourself.
No, you see, I thought it was a parody movie of the many movies that came in the 70s and into the 80s of these documentaries and that of bands, but they're also parodying that heavy metal wave that came through, that sort of spandex glam rock that like to delve into the Stonehenge whole bit is perfect piss take of the prog rock that came out of this country. And your Led Zeppelin sort of did shite like that on the stage and things. That's why I thought it was a perfect parody, because they were parodying these rock stars. But I will concede, because it is a mockumentary and it is probably the original greatest mockumentary out there. But alas, I did put it as my number 3. But a number 3 seems too harsh for it. But like I said, my top 4 movies, it could swap any day of the week.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say that it's your top 10. So, you know.
But
it's
no,
entirely up
it's
to
up
you.
there.
What you class it as a parody, that's fine. I mean, if I'd have thought of it as a parody, it would have been in my top 10 without a shadow of a doubt.
And I love the extended Blu-ray where you've got all those deleted scenes that are just as funny as, you know, the rest of the movie, and how sad it is that they were never included.
I know.
And I would urge anybody to watch the deleted scenes if they're a huge fan of this movie and not seen them. Yeah.
Any group that has a song called Lick My Love Pump is good. It has to be good with me. So
the bigger the cushion, the harder the pushing.
My number 2, so where are we on? No, my number 3 was Blazing Saddles. So we've already got that one sorted out. Donald, your number 2, please.
Spaceballs.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't make my top 10, Spaceballs.
So
I like it, but why so high, Donald?
I watch it so often. At least twice a month I'm watching it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether I don't know whether it's because I'm so close to Star Wars that I watched it not long ago. Well, I'll say not long ago, a year or so ago.
I'm not all that huge a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. See, I didn't find it funny. I just didn't. But I can imagine
at moments.
I can imagine that maybe it's because it's taking the piss out of something that I absolutely love. That's why I don't find it funny. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's the reason.
Could be.
But I'm and as I am with some of these, like when we talk about music, I'm in the minority. I'm definitely in the minority when it comes to Spaceballs, because pretty much anybody I speak to absolutely love Spaceballs
definitely
as a movie. It's very rarely I'll come across anybody that will go, no, I didn't like it very much. Everybody seems to love it. I mean, look, Rick Moranis is great in it.
Oh, definitely.
John Candy.
You
know, like I say,
Pullman.
Bill Pullman was great.
I mean, the bits that I recall and found funny were the Alien parody, obviously bringing John Hurt back.
Yeah,
was funny. The dig at the merchandise was funny. And that sort of thing. But yeah, I must watch it again. I've not seen it in a long time.
I also feel it also came quite late after Star Wars had sort of finished, didn't it? It wasn't like hot on the heels of Star Wars. It almost felt like Star Wars was.
But then I suppose if you think about his parody movies, they were all quite late. I mean, Young Frankenstein was from the 30s.
Yeah, that's true.
Parodying. I mean, the Westerns from the 40s and 50s, the John Wayne stuff. Silent movie. Yeah, so I suppose he didn't really think about it like that.
I mean, I think the only reason that George Lucas gave Mel Brooks permission, it was because it was so far after Star Wars.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's sort of been and gone kind of thing, wasn't it? Because it was way before he was thinking of doing the prequels and
right
after the original movies had come out. So,
but obviously, I brought it up in the fact, and it was called Planet Moron. I always thought when I looked into it, maybe the reason they didn't use Planet Moron was the fact that we had morons from outer space, didn't we, in this country with Mel Smith and that Griffiths Jones. That movie. That could have been a parody movie. That's a long time since I've seen that one.
Jimmy Nail as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
One of my favorite scenes, though, when they're shooting, when their Spaceball One is shooting at Princess Vespa's, and who made that kind of gunner? I did, sir. What's his name? Asshole. He's an asshole. I know that. What's his name? That is his name. Major Asshole. His brother? First gunner asshole. How many assholes we got on the ship? Yo. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Mel Brooks was
yogurt,
wasn't it?
Yogurt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, as well as the president
That's right.
Oh yeah, he was, isn't he?
That's right. Goodness me. Okay, Neil, your number 2 was Blazing Saddles.
It certainly was.
My number 2 is Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, which is the Steve Martin. Martin, black and white, gumshoe. If you're from the UK, you'll remember the Heineken adverts with Griff Rhys-Jones, I think it was, wasn't it? Where he would be planted in with like Some Like It Hot. So he'd be talking to Marilyn Monroe. Well, that's basically what this movie is. He's taken scenes from famous movies with Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney and all these people, and then sculpted his own story around these certain movies from the 30s and 40s. And it is so funny. And it's Steve Martin at the top of his game, constantly trying to not get shot in the same part of his arm all through the movie, making his famous cup of Java, which takes like 15 minutes to make the coffee. Rachel Ward looking absolutely stunning. Carl Reiner in it as well. It's got so many great jokes in it, and just really, really clever with the way he uses actual footage and actual dialogue from other movies that he's answering and talking back. So having a scene with like Humphrey Bogart and people like that, and Cary Grant, it is well worth looking for. I know it's on iTunes because that's where I got my copy from. So I was able to watch it again. I hadn't seen it for years, and I thought, it
held up when you watched it.
Oh, again. It was so good. There was so many bits. Again, so many bits. I'd watched it so many times that as soon as he started like a bit, I thought, oh God, I know how this is going to be. And I'm talking along with it, and it's just got some great bits.
Have to get a copy. I really
you need to watch it because it is so funny.
It's been a long time. It's VHS years probably since I last saw that. Yeah,
probably. Donald, you ever seen it?
No, actually, I've heard of it though.
Yeah, are you a Steve Martin fan?
Yeah, I do. I love The Jerk.
Yeah, that was the other movie I bought at the same time on my iTunes was The Jerk and Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. So I would recommend it. I would thoroughly recommend it. I mean, it's not Dead Raccoons 2 or whatever it was called, but it's
Killer Raccoons.
Killer Raccoons, that's it. Neil even wrote that down, didn't you?
I did. I really want to watch the trailer, so I wouldn't want to forget.
Right, so before we announce our number ones, Donald, do you want to give us your rundown from number 10 to number 2, please?
Okay. Number 10 was Scary Movie. Number 9, Loaded Weapon 1. Number 8, Galaxy Quest. Number 7, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Number 6, Hot Shots. Number 5, Top Secret. Number 4, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Number 3, Blazing Saddles. And number 2, Spaceballs.
Wonderful. Neil, your 10 to 2, please.
Absolutely. So number 10, Top Secret. Number 9, Shaun of the Dead. Number 8, Austin Powers. Number 7, Holy Grail, Monty Python's version. 6,
as opposed to what?
I know, but I thought, there might be a movie out there just called The Holy Grail.
Well, there probably is.
Number 6, Young Frankenstein. Number 5, Naked Gun. Number 4, The Life of Brian. Number 3, This Is Spinal Tap. And number 2, Blazing Saddles.
Wonderful. And mine is number 10, Top Secret. Number 9, Young Frankenstein. Number 8, Hot Shots Part 2. 7, Silent Movie. 6, Shaun of the Dead. 5, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. 4, Naked Gun. 3, Blazing Saddles. And number 2, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. So, Donald, what is your number 1 parody movie?
Now, there's one movie that I'm finding oddly missing from both of your lists.
Oh,
I have this feeling. Gotta be Airplane.
Airplane is your number 1. Now,
I can say it's my number 1 as well. I might as well.
I have to say, right, that we have never ever had all 3 the same at number 1. But we have today. We've done it. Finally.
It had to be, didn't it?
Of course.
It had to be.
Again, another movie that is quoted day in, day out in my household.
I must admit, I thought I had some kind of... Oh, look, well, the crowd are going mad anyway, so that's fine.
I mean,
That's fine.
Just every scene is a joke, isn't it? Every scene is a punchline. It's just constant. I mean, I don't believe there can't be many people that have never seen it. Surely.
Oh, of course, we're still going.
No.
The crowd are still going wild. Yeah. It's not for me. I mean, look, it's been in my top 10 for I don't know how many different top 10 categories that we've had. And it'd be in my top 10 movies of all time without a shadow of a doubt. Airplane. Yeah. It's a movie that I still watch and still laugh at, like openly, and still laugh at probably new things every time I watch it. And I don't know how many times I've seen it. I honestly don't. It's just like it's obscene the amount of times amount of hours I've spent of my life watching just that one movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah. And it's a movie they should never ever try and redo. They don't need to. Not. They don't need to.
No, they should never ever go near it, should they?
I can't believe we've done it, Donald. Congratulations for being the man that brings us the subject where we have all have the same number one.
It's like a unity.
It is. It's definitely something. It's something. It's taken us 54 episodes, but we've finally done it. Awesome. And quite rightly, it should be a movie like Airplane that brings us all together.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt.
For sure, absolutely.
Well done. I don't think there's really anything more we can say about Airplane either. I think it's
no, we can't. Not really. Apart from the red zone is for unloading.
Oh dear, over, under, and done. Yeah. We got a couple of honourable mentions. Stu Grant said the only answer is Spaceballs. At Chatty Geek HD said this one's going to be fabulous, and also said Men in Tights. Andy McEwen 1 said Naked Guns, Top Notch, Hot Shots 1 and 2, and Young Frankenstein 2. At JBender451 said that's a tough one, but I'd have to go with Galaxy Quest. Warren Dudley says Airplane, obvs, honorable mention to Top Secret 2. And Nancy Trickle said Top Secret.
Yeah. I mean, some of the ones that I can remember, I've got them written still down here on my list. I've got Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a great movie and a great one. Hot Fuzz, that's a parody.
Yeah.
That would have been in there. All sorts of other ones.
Yeah, and I think we did mention. I think Repossessed definitely needs to be sort of mentioned as a movie. That would definitely be in there. But my crying, hanging head in shame will be that Life of Brian. I can't believe I forgot Life of Brian. I really feel I've let everybody down with that one.
Your punishment, you naughty boy, is to watch Monty Python's The Life of Brian this week.
Oh no, I thought you were going to say to watch the Killer Raccoons.
No, we need to watch that together. You're not watching that on your own.
Yeah, we would. I think maybe that should be a Patreon special thing. We'll watch it together and put the video up or the thing up on the Patreon. I think
we'll find something.
We've got to find a copy. Donald, thank you so much once again. That was so much fun. Thank you for bringing us that category. We've done it. We've actually done it. We all got the number one
amazing.
All together, and I'm so chuffed. I'm so chuffed. Donald, thank you so much for your support. Please come back and join us again for another one. We'll find another one to do.
Oh, most definitely.
Excellent. Wonderful. Neil, thank you so much.
Let me give you some information before I chop on.
Oh, indeed. Go and do that.
Let me just quickly say that you can find us on all the social medias. Give us a click, give us a like. We're under at Top10pods. Email us at toptenpods@hotmail.com for any questions or ideas for a top 10. Please help support the podcast under patreon.com/top10pods. There's all sorts of rewards where you could be a guest like Donald is here. Check out all the links via the link tree. You can find the link in the show notes. And please do come subscribe, leave a review, rating wherever you get your podcasts from.
Wonderful. And also, like I said, thank you very much to Richard, who's our new Patreon subscriber, and we'll be chatting to him in a few weeks as well with his own episode. And we'll be looking forward to having Donald back and see if he can keep his streak going of bringing us all together with the same number one as we've done with this one. Airplane, the number one parody movie, quite rightly so. So once again, Donald, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Thank you very much, Donald. Thank you very much, Pav.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening and watching. And let's start the countdown.
10,